Dingo. Today we are going to take a look at Zul'Jin, the warlord of the Amani troll tribe. They come from the forests. They gotta bleed. They gotta cut you. This our land. You wanna stay? You stay here forever. So, everybody, we have Zul'Jin from World of Warcraft as the newest hero in Heroes of the Storm. This is a slightly time-shifted Zul'Jin. For those of us who are Warcraft fans or who keep up with the lore, Zul'Jin was the final boss in the raid called Zul'Aman back in TBC. Kind of an odd raid to have in TBC as it dealt with this tribe and not like the Legion and everything that we were dealing with. However, the Zul'Amani trolls were constantly at war with the Blood Elves, and this was the expansion that gave us the Blood Elves. As a matter of fact, they were camped out not too far from Silvermoon, so that's why we did eventually deal with them. And why I say this is a slightly time-shifted version of him is that the Zul'Jin that we dealt with in World of Warcraft had, at that point, his run-in with the Blood Elves when he was captured. So this version still has both his arms, whereas ours lost an arm and an eye. And at the time, he preferred the blade fists that some of the orcs were running, similar to Kargath blade fist that we also fought in TBC. In the end of that shitty dungeon called Shattered Halls, or as I like to call it, Shat Balls. So this version of Zul'Jin is, of course, completely not that version. He's using axes. He's not using a blade fist. He, I believe, has both of his eyes, and he clearly has both of his arms. So this is not the Zul'Jin with one arm missing like the Def Leppard drummer. Yeah. So we're going to take a look at him today, and probably in a separate video get some gameplay on him. I would imagine the queue for him today is going to be kind of rough. I think a lot of people would be playing him today. So yes, okay, so when this was announced, this is what I hoped that they would do, is give it as a bundle, because this Amani War Bear, there's a little bit of history in this bear too, and I loved the Ember Lord skin for him, and I definitely knew, I was like, yeah, I want to get the skin, and I hope the bear is part of the bundle, because it would make sense if it is. So this is definitely going to be a bundle purchase. So for the Zul'Jin bundle, the Amani War Bear came from a type of run that was first created in vanilla for what was called the Baron run. If you went through the undead version of Stratholme within a certain amount of time and you killed Baron Rivendare, you had a shot at getting his mount. Very, very low shot at getting his mount. Actually, that might not have been on a timer. I don't think that one was, but in TBC, we had the Bronze Drake run, and we had the Amani Warbear run. So basically, in Zul'Aman, if you killed all the bosses quick enough and got up to the 4th starter boss in a certain amount of time, you had a Warbear in the chest. Then eventually, when Zul'Aman changed to a 5-man group, and Zul'Jin was considered dead, and he was replaced with Dahaka, a different Dahaka than we have in this game, StarCraft. It's like Daka or something like that. You could get the bear also in the 5-man, but that came in Cataclysm. Cataclysm redid Zul'Gurub and Zul'Aman into dungeons, and it had that kind of like intro raid tier loot going on. It, you know, it was for people who are maybe wanting to raid and just catching up. So Alright, let's take a look at what we have in the shop so far for this week in this patch. We have the Ember Lord Zul'Jin bundle, which is a definite purchase. I have not gotten some of the bundles recently, but this one was going to happen. I knew that one last week. Zul'Jin. The Nexus Conqueror Bundle, which apparently I own everything in there, which means the Challenger one I own too. So, taking a look at the Conqueror Bundle, we have no mounts, no alternate skins, but we do have Zagara, a specialist, and Nazebo, a specialist, Tyrael, a tank, Falstad, a DPS, Abathur is a specialist, Brightwing as support, Kael'Thas as DPS, Rhaegar as support, Rexxar as a tank, and Butcher as DPS. So, not a very tank-heavy bundle, but pretty good on specialists. We have Purifier Artanis, which does an altered voiceover and makes him look like a Decepticon. And I have a Master Artanis, so I wouldn't get that. And we have Tempest Regalia Jaina, which might be another TBC outfit. I forget where the Tempest set comes from. It might be TBC. I don't particularly remember. I never had an active mage, so I don't really know. Skins, Legendary Myrddin has now been bounced over here along with Little Ragnaros. Druid of the Flame, Malfurion, which is awesome skin. Logosh variant, which I never really cared about, which is why I didn't get the bundle. Cyberhawk Kael'Thas, and Hellblade Samora, which that's why I didn't get that bundle. The really cool Scarecrow Zul is up, and the really awesome and sexy bare-stomached Vala is over here. For mounts, we have still the 2016 Fall Finals Ballistics Nexagon, and the iPad. They did not move the Snowflake over. iPad's kind of interesting. I'd like to get an iPad. Seems pretty cool for if Cho'Gall could use it. Seems right up his alley. Alright, well, let's get a tri-mode going on here for Zul'Jin. And let's take a look at his loadout. So, for his skins, we have your typical troll green. We have a very troll green. And we have more of the straight up jungle troll. All of these are definitely very well colored here. And his initial face mask drape over here looks very Protoss, especially in the purple. Here is his master skin, where he gains the Zul'Aman vestments. This was a pretty common looking set when Zul'Aman was a raid, although this was a little bit more towards the plate side. Plate wearers had stuff that looked like this. All the last two in Master are pretty cool. I would be happy to wear either one of those, the orange or the green. I think they're both pretty cool. Here's the Ember Lord one, which I'm definitely going to be starting off with. That's cool. A little less so. Looks like one of the Frost Trolls. Very Wrath of the Lich King looking over here. Almost like a Troll Death Knight. I would be happy to wear any of these as we go up through the leveling. So, his Q is Grievous Throw. He throws an axe straight forward, damaging and marking the target, increasing his basic attack damage to that target. Twin Cleave is kind of like a weird double boomerang shot. He throws them out in an arc, so they come out his sides. They spread out left and right of him, hit the target, and then come back along the same path. Or, you know, basically wherever he's moved to. He regenerates similar to Roadhog over in Overwatch. He just stops and regenerates for a little bit. A 15-second cooldown is amazing. He regains a quarter of his health over 4 seconds. But if he moves or takes damage, it's going to get interrupted. So you want to make sure you get far enough out of the back line. And if you do it, don't be obvious and get like picked off by a Chromie or something by very clearly going into vents or bushes or anything. I mean, you know, anybody's smart is going to know you went there. His trait is Berserker, which can be made active. If you activate it, your damage goes up, but every basic attack you do consumes about 2% of your health. Really, really good if perhaps you have a heal over time on you. Like Malfurion would be good for this, and Morales is huge for Zul'Jin. If you're a good Morales player, you may want to play her for a little while Zul'Jin is popular. Tazdingo is one of his ultimates. I love Tazdingo. One of my favorite things about trolls is slash cheer. And even though I love the male troll Tazdingo, the female troll Tazdingo, and the Yaman, I've loved since vanilla. I've had female trolls in the guild and just stand next to him and go, just do cheer, do slash cheer for like a minute. He becomes unkillable for 4 seconds, and his health cannot be reduced less than 1. It works out really well with his Berserker trait, because Zul'Jin attacks 1% faster for every 1% of his maximum health missing. So essentially, you don't get any lower than what you would stop at Tazdingo. So if you hit Tazdingo with 5 hit points, your attack speed's going to be nuts. Alternatively, he has Guillotine, where he throws a huge axe up in the air and it lands like Chromie's Sandblast. And it's a big AoE when it lands, deals a lot of damage, and again, more damage depending on how low his health is. Faster cooldown. This could be a good case of either ultimate is really, really good there. Okay, so Bone Slicer. Your Grievous throw pierces through all enemies, and the bonus damage is increased. That sounds pretty nice. Arcanite Axes lowers the cooldown of Twin Cleave by 0.5 seconds for every hero hit. When below 50% health, the ability power is increased. You want Axe? Every 5 basic attacks against heroes increases Zul'Jin's basic attack by 1.5. After attacking heroes 120 times, his attack range goes up. Sounds like a complicated quest. That one might take a while. Maybe not recommended unless you have a tank in front of you. Troll's Blood. Regeneration heal amount increased. Let the killing begin. When Zul'Jin kills an enemy, his attack speed is increased by 6% up to 30 for a whopping 15 seconds. Basic attacks refresh it. So, kind of reminds me of Sonya a little bit. Hero takedowns instantly grant 30% attack speed. Headhunter. Get a takedown on all unique enemy heroes. Activate to reveal all enemy heroes for 4 seconds. To your team or to just you? Get a takedown on all unique. Maybe not a good idea if they have an Abathur or an extremely resilient tank like a Johanna. But if it's a bunch of squishies, Novas and Chromies and Tracers and stuff, this might be a good quest. Vicious Assault. Increase the number of bonus damage basic attacks from Grievous Throw to 6. Basic attacks against afflicted heroes. So this, the Q build might be a very safe build for that. Wrong place, wrong time. If an enemy is hit by both axes, they take 140 bonus damage. Recklessness. When you are below 50% health, the basic attack damage is increased. So maybe you want to avoid the trait ones unless you are definitely in sync with your healer. There's been many instances in World of Warcraft where in a boss fight, the goal is maybe not to keep everybody topped off, but simply to keep people from dying. And if you have good synergy with your healer, like a friend on Vent or something, or Discord or voice chat, Recklessness might be the way to go. Maintain a tolerable but low amount of health. Mouth would probably be good for that. Tazdingo and Guillotine. Me's axe gonna cut you good, man. There's his heroics. Eye of Zul'Jin. Hitting an enemy here with Grievous Throw increases his movement speed. Seems nice. Forest Medicine. Regeneration doesn't have to be channeled, allowing him to perform other actions. While regenerating, however, taking damage still ends it. That's pretty cool. Because if people aren't paying attention that you're taking it, they might not focus you if they see you up and about and running around. I don't know the graphic of this yet. We'll have to see. Voodoo Shuffle, which was a troll racial in World of Warcraft. Activate to remove all current root and slow effects. Situational. Swirling Death. Twin Cleave axes keep spinning. Cycle twice and can hit enemies on each revolution, but its cooldown is increased by 4 seconds. Increase the slow amount or ferocity. Increase the attack speed bonus of Berserker. So, if you're maybe going to Q build at this point, maybe you want to go ferocity and ignore the axe ones. Amani, Resilience. When Taz Dingo ends, he heals for 50% of the damage dealt to him during that time. So, yeah, that's going to be like getting a Karzim Palm. If people are going to need to be smart and lay off you while you do that, if that happens. Buzzsaw, after impact, Guillotine continues forward, dealing 0% of his damage to enemies in a line. Probably don't get to determine what is considered forward. And Ensnare, throw a net forward, roots the first enemy for 2 seconds. Kind of a reference to a lot of troll hunters. Interesting. 2 seconds. I don't know about that one. I think I would probably go into the... something based off of the heroic. So, let's get him into try mode over here. We'll try Q build, and we will wrap up the video for a first look at him, and I'll then go ahead and record a second video of a match. Which I'm definitely looking forward to him, and definitely looking forward to the bundle for this one. Samuro, you know, didn't care. Varian, didn't care. This guy, I cared about. So, alright, we'll do a Q build. We will do... let's try Troll's Blood. Vicious Assault. Guillotine. Forest Medicine. Ferocity. And Buzzsaw. Bring me the head of that Death Knight. Me's gonna cut him good. Alright, so, if somebody's close to you, probably don't want to W too much. I definitely heard jungle music there. Oh, I do get to pick the forward. Cool. Kind of reminds me of Jace and the Wheeled Warriors from... Alright, I got Arthas pretty good on that one. Alright, let's try to activate the Berserking. That's a good hit. So it is a little visible that you have your regeneration up, but in the heat of battle with a lot of minions in the lane and everything, it might not be that noticeable. And the music is very low, so you might be able to get away with people not going, hey, he's got regeneration up. He came back in. Yeah, W builds might be tough. It is really annoying to try to hit with that. However, dodging it, being opposite him, might be relatively easy. It seems like really to avoid is to just go forward. Kind of treat it like Jaina's Circle of Frost and go try to get the middle if you can. Yeah, that's a lot of planning to hit the twin cleaves. However, if you do catch somebody with the closer part of the arc, that could work. Yeah. Interesting. Let's see if I can get Arthas Clifton doing one of those. You get the one hit on the axe. You don't get the twos, but at least you get some kind of a hit if they're hugging you. That was a good one. Nice. Okay. So I think he's pretty basic. That's about all we need to really learn here. Guillotine's current damage is listed. Increased attack speed as health gets lower. So because I'm really full health over here, it's not going to go up too much, but I timed it a little after Bot Malfurion's heal, so I'm getting low. Nice. So all the information you need is right there on your UI, which is pretty cool. Okay. He seems like it'd be a lot of fun. And I definitely think if you got a tank in front of you, allowing to set up your shots a little bit better, Zul'Jin is going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if he will have the win rate that Samoro did, or do they just crazy amounts of damage good Samoros could do, but I'd say people skilled with his Twin Cleave are probably going to do really good damage if they build into Twin Cleave. So, thanks for checking out Zul'Jin, everybody, and stay tuned for the channel to see him in an actual match. And never forget, the troll's gonna kill all the Blood Elves for what they did to us. Screw the Horde for abandoning us, and screw the Alliance. We are the Zul'Amani, man.